This is RDA versus Renato Moicano at 160-pound catch weight. The big thing that I wanted to take away from this is that Renato Moicano has historically fought at 145 pounds, recently moved up to 155, and now he's fighting at 160. Rafael dos Anjos, even though he was small at 170, he was still able to fight at 170 and get a couple wins at 170. So we do know RDA will probably be the bigger man in this fight, even though in a weird spot he's the smaller man. You know what I mean? Like he's the bigger man, but the smaller man at the same time, because he is 5'8". Moicano is 5'11", 70-inch reach for RDA, 72-inch reach for Moicano. Moicano, what is his best path to victory in this fight? He's taking it on short notice, less than a month removed from his last victory. RDA has been training for a striker, not a submission artist, so we definitely got to take that into account because he was supposed to fight Rafael Fiziev originally. But this is the big question here. If Moicano wins this fight, does he do it via submission? Can he outstrike RDA? How do you see this fight playing out?
I think if Moicano wants a chance to win this fight, he's got to get to the ground. He's got to start working those submissions. Mm-hmm. We've seen that RDA, yes, he is he a black belt? He's been a black belt for years, man. He's almost older than been a black belt longer than I've been alive, man. This dude is crazy, very skilled, but he's fallen in love with his hands. He's been more on the hands and the kicks, and he's kind of lost, or at least chosen to not utilize that ground game attack. Where Moicano, that's really where he's dangerous, man. Yeah. Very dangerous on the ground, and has a little bit of the youth and that vigor that we always talk about that you're going to kind of have, as well as the unexpected nature of that late fight replacement, man. That's it. RDA has been training for that physique fight, for that striker. Not worrying about the grappling, the wrestling at all. Where Moicano, he could have just been in the gym, doing the normal stuff, kind of working his holes game, working on the stuff that he doesn't necessarily have, which could end up being better of an attack plan for RDA if he can maintain that range, maintain that lengthiness, and then let RDA get a little upset, then shoot for the takedown. How do you see Renato Moicano going forward in this fight?
Well, I think Renato Moicano is going to need to either put RDA on his back foot or find a way where he can, get a counter, take the back, try to work for that rear naked choke. Because RDA, like I said, he's a skilled jiu-jitsu black belt, and his game is let me pressure you, let me outbox you, and let me use those leg kicks, brother. That's the big question mark that I have on this fight. Because if RDA can get those leg kicks going against a Renato Moicano, damage the mobility of him, keep him as a sitting duck, and then put the work on him, I think that this could be a very definitive win for RDA, who in his last 5 has had to fight Paul Felder, Michael Chiesa, Leon Edwards, Kevin Lee, and Kamaru Usman, where Renato Moicano, you fight Anthony Hernandez, or Alexander Hernandez, Jai Herbert, you fought Fiziev, you fought Hadzovic, and the Korean Zombie, and he has the win over Hadzovic. That was impressive, the win over Jai Herbert and Hernandez, but brother, those are not the same level of competition. Like his strength of schedule is much lower than RDA's, who has fought the best of the best over how many years at this point. So I do think that for Moicano, which I don't have any odds up right now on the sports book where it's talking about like prop bets for them right now. I think it's because it's a late notice bout, but I do think that his best path to victory is not in the striking, and it is lying in the grappling exchanges. But for RDA, who has never, I have it written down, he's never been submitted. Is that true? I feel like he has been submitted. Maybe not. Let me look it up real fast, folks. Let's look up RDA, and I'll pull it up too over here, folks. So for Rafael dos Anjos, all right, here we go. So let's see. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay. Has he ever been submitted? This is going to be the big question that we have here. We know that he submitted 10 people, but has he ever been submitted? He's been submitted once. Who has he been submitted by? Let's see. Well, arm triangle choke, lost, punches. Whoever he has lost to by decision. Oh, no. Whoever he's lost to by decision or by submission. This is the big point, I guess, that we have here. It was a really long time ago, because when we're looking overall at this record, it does not appear to be the case that he has lost via decision in his last 20 fights or so, man. So, all right, if Moicano can pull off the submission, the rear naked choke specifically, because that's his bread and butter, that will be a beautiful thing to see. But I think RDA is a clear favorite for a reason at minus 170 with the plus 145 comeback on Renato Moicano. I also do like that RDA is in a full training camp as opposed to Moicano, who, yeah, you could step in on short notice, but it's like, is that going to give you the same advantages as if you had that full training camp for him. You got the size advantage, you got the reach advantage, but are you going to be able to utilize it? Because RDA in his last fight against Paul Felder, he did get the split decision win, but you're going toe to toe against one of the best strikers to do it in the lightweight division. Against Michael Chiesa, got the grinder. You know, he was able to put him on his butt, do all that good stuff. But can Moicano repeat that type of performance, AJ? That's the question. Can Moicano pull a Michael Chiesa-esque victory out of his hat? What do you think?
I don't know, man. It depends on how well and how versed the training has been of Moicano, man. Has he been getting those 5-round fights or those 5, plus rounds, really getting in, having the new guys come in so he can feel something different? I don't know. I think this is really just Moicano getting the call and being like, fuck it, I'm in. Like, I'm down to fight, because I think this is a 0-lose situation for him, man.
So this is the other key, too. This is a 5-round bout. So if this goes over 3, I mean, RDA has a clear advantage in that spot right there. Ultimately, brother, enough talk about it, because we're given how can Moicano win these fights. I think that RDA has the real advantage in this one. Would I be super shocked to see Moicano win? I'd be kind of surprised. I'd be kind of, you know what I mean? But not super shocked. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, how did this happen? But I do think RDA, man, I think that a lot of people, especially because, he's lost a couple in his last 5, they've kind of written him off a little bit. They don't see him as the old champion. I mean, this is a former champion that we're talking about here, brother. We're not talking about no scrub, no slouch, no just regular veteran. I think RDA has the tools in his tool belt to avoid being submitted and to get into that half guard smash style, get Moicano's back against the cage and just put it on him. So I'm going to let it out the bag, man. I'm rocking with RDA. The over and under here, it was actually, I didn't have one up because, it's such a late, notice replacement. They take a little bit to get those numbers up. So I don't have an over and under, but RDA at -170. I like those odds. I'm rolling with RDA. Who are you rolling with, brother?
Yeah, I'm rolling with my boy RDA as well, man. I think he's just been too prepared in the gym, and he's kind of getting into his swag a little bit again, man. This dude, he's really had a lot of hard losses and close losses and all that stuff, hardships. He's had a lot of injuries, but I feel like he's finally back on the go, man. Back getting it done going. I'm going RDA, and I'm going by decision. I mean, it speaks levels that the number 19 Renato Moicano was the one that stepped up to fight, because there was a lot of other people getting that phone call first that said, nah, RDA, nah, I'm good, man.
That's the key right there. So he's bold, but will it pay off? I guess we will find out this Saturday.